Yes, this is Empire Crypto TV here with Stone on this afternoon. If you're in Africa, South Africa, that's where I met. So much things that are happening around the world of the markets and the world as a whole. And to also start with the bad news that has come out that has caused this current bearish trend that we are seeing all over the market. Russia has started to attack Ukraine, and that's not something good. And not only just, assets, also other currencies. I'm talking about euro, the Great British Pound. I'm talking about also the rand itself here in South Africa has taken a knock because of the ongoing battle that is in Ukraine right now. It is a scary thing. It is not friendly. Something that just happened just this morning, this beginning of the day. And I'm not too sure what time or the exact hour, but some analysts say that this could be the beginning of the World War III. I'm not sure about World War III, but whatever is happening out there is extremely bad. So hence I talk about this bear market with the so hot, but we'll just look into the story and try and understand what is currently taking place right now in Ukraine. And what is happening right now in Ukraine is affecting the market. Right after that, we're going to step into the market themselves. So I'll just allow the BBC News to bring you this information because they are the best information provider when it comes to this situation.
Kiev doubted that he would do it. Not anymore. The West warned Vladimir Putin was about to attack. He said he had no such plans. That fiction now utterly exposed. Explosions right across this vast country. In Ivano-Frankivsk, in the far southwest, a missile struck an airport. Unverified images from Ukraine's northern and southern borders seem to show columns of Russian armor entering from Belarus and Crimea. Within hours, Russian tanks were reported to be on the streets of Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv. Whatever Russia says, this attack will not be surgical. To the east of Kharkiv, emergency workers battle to control fires in residential buildings hit by rockets. The number of civilian casualties is rising. At Mariupol in the south, another airport on fire. This country's civilian infrastructure is being heavily struck. There are no more flights in or out. A glance at the map shows a country under attack from east to west, north to south. Earlier, a snarling Russian leader said this was all in self-defense and warned Ukrainians to lay down their arms.
We will strive for the demilitarization and denazification of Ukraine. Russia cannot feel safe, develop and exist with a constant threat emanating from the territory of modern Ukraine.
In Kiev, Ukraine's embattled president, who must now fear for his job, appealed to the world.
Putin started a war against Ukraine, against the whole democratic world. He wants to destroy my country. He wants to destroy our country, everything we have been building, what we live for.
So far, all the signs are that this attack is working out exactly the way Western leaders have been warning for weeks. The country is being attacked from all directions, and the fear now has to be that some of those Russian troops are heading here to the capital. Some people aren't waiting to find out what happens next. The roads out of Kiev jammed with traffic, most of it heading west. These people don't want to be liberated by Vladimir Putin. After weeks of extraordinary calm, this suddenly looks like panic. Mid-morning and two jets fly over the city. It's not clear whose, but it seems only a matter of time before Russia controls the air and much besides. Paul Adams, BBC News, Kyiv.
Well, people here in Kyiv woke to the sound of air raid sirens up above as citizens who'd long prayed for peace now had to face war. My colleague Nick Beek has been gauging the thoughts of some of the people here to the extraordinary unfolding events.
The invasion, the attack that Russia promised would never happen, has now started. And the Ukrainian government is urging people to stay calm, and it's appealing to the international community to stop President Putin now.
We soon find Lana and her mum. Russia forced them from their home in Crimea 8 years ago. Now they're on the move again.
It's very, very nervous, and I'm very scared. But I must be strong.
After the overnight attacks from the skies, many are taking refuge underground.
Well, this feels like one of the safest places in the city today, not just because there are lots of soldiers about, but because the metro is doubling up as a bomb shelter. And overnight families have come down here. They're trying to follow the news of what's happening, and they're trying to work out what they're going to do next.
2-year-old Yegor is still smiling, but his mum and dad are worried.
8 bombs.
8 bombs.
8 bombs.
At Borisopol.
In English.
The war started. Страх за ребенка.
I'm very, very scared for my boy, Alexander says. Then both parents ask, where are NATO to help us? When the bombs started falling, sales manager Mark helped his neighbors leave their homes. He tells me he's now ready to fight on the front line and die for his country.
It's only one way to serve our country, our children, our mothers, and defend our country from Russian occupation. And we will fight all day.
Many are fearful of what will come next, among them Alexei.
If Russia will occupy Kyiv, which I don't believe happen, because I believe in our army, well, it will be like another Nazi occupation.
It's still eerily quiet here in the heart of the capital. It seems many have followed government advice to stay at home. Lots of people will have also heard Russia's claim that it carried out targeted strikes on the Ukrainian military. I've got to tell you, people here are saying it doesn't feel like that to them. Instead, they feel that they're under attack and that President Putin has declared war on them.
Nick Beek, BBC News, Kyiv.
The view from here in Ukraine. Well, what about Russia? In an address on state television, Vladimir Putin claimed his country had been left no choice but to defend itself against what he suggested were threats from modern Ukraine, and that Moscow would try to what he called denazify this country. From Moscow, Steve Rosenberg.
From the president of Russia, a fateful decision. Vladimir Putin said military operation, but really, the Kremlin was launching a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Russian stocks plunged, the ruble hit an all-time low. Fears of conflict superseded by the shock of a war and what may come next.
I think that if Putin is not stopped now in Ukraine, this war would be the beginning of the Third World War.
Vladimir Putin comes across now as a leader with an almost messianic idea to force Ukraine back into Moscow's orbit, even if that means war. What the public might think about that doesn't come into it. He seems determined to achieve his goal. In the center of Moscow, we're against the war, she says, and we want the whole world to know that. But so far, few Russians have come out to protest. Maybe this is why. In Russia now, protests end like this.
I'm sorry, I'm so shocked. I just can't help crying.
I think that most of Russians don't support this. It's horrible.
And why don't they support it?
Because it's Not our war, it's war Putin, Biden, or anyone else, but not our nation.
I think the Ukrainian soldiers will surrender, she says, and they should. It's terrible to be at war with Ukraine. This is not a conflict the Russian public wants. This is the Kremlin's war. Steve Rosenberg, BBC News, Moscow.
Well. As you can see, things are not looking quite good, and this, of course, has affected the entire market landscape. As you know, I was just wanting to share, what was the latest, because most of the time when we discuss on the show, on the previous shows, we normally talked about whether they're going to attack, whether they were not going to attack. But finally, we have found confirmation that Russia has finally put an attack on Ukraine. As you can see, most of the citizens are moving around and are moving out of the country. People are panicking, and this has caused the market to also as well to be panicking at this point in time. I just wanted to also share some of the market analysis with regards to Bitcoin and other markets as well that are all over the world that are affected by what is happening in Ukraine right now. But first, I just want to pull out the chart that of Bitcoin, and apparently the dollar is doing well, and the oil has gone up, but that's something soon that we're going to also look up to. And we have also, in the few hours ago, before anything worse could happen, there was a bearish breakout. Now remember, I had my resistance level right there at $39,000 per coin, but I was hoping to see that resistance to be broken through. But until the attack happened, and then that breakout happened, that bearish breakout finally occurred at the point whereby the market was, my support was still at $36,000 per coin. Now immediately Russia started sending those rockets into Ukraine. The market just flopped down on Bitcoin. Not only just Bitcoin is affected, the entire market landscape as well. I can go right now to some of the news to share the Nasdaq news compare to what has came out, the latest news article regarding, Wall Street slides over 1% as Russia attacks Ukraine. Also the Wall Street, the big guys are affected. Look at the US 30. All of this is just red, and red shows that things are quite bad all over the world regarding the market. So everything is absorbed around this Ukraine-Russia issue. By Susan, US stocks goes on to say U.S. stocks indexes slid than 1% on Thursday, led by losses in bank stocks as Russia's all-out invasion on Ukraine sparked a widespread sell-off. So that's what we are seeing just in a widespread sell-off in global markets. And on the benchmark, SP 500 and all the 11 major sectors as well. And then there was a story, of course, that I wanted to also share with you. Global fund managers, but let us just stick to this one. I'll just stick to this one. I don't want to go too deep into a detail regarding, and then I just want to also look at the charts. Now, I'm looking at currencies right now. It's euro versus the US dollar. Looking at the strength of the US dollar right now. Euro is the base currency. The base currency is the one that is going to be displayed. The chart that you're going to see is the base currencies chart. And the base currency at this point in time is the euro. And this euro is against the US dollar as we speak right now. If you study the data right now, you can see that the chart represents a very bearish trend for the euro, which means the euro has gone weak against the US dollar. And because of what's happening in Europe, and it's hitting them very, very hard. This is a 1 hour chart. As you can see, you have it like that extreme downtrend going down. Now I'm looking also at my relative strength index right here, right now. As you can see, it has that oversold conditions. It went as far as lower than 30 and below in the RSI. It means that the currency or the instrument has been oversold, and here at this point in time it has been oversold to a point of 13.13. That is way oversold. If you are studying the indicator, which is the RSI at the 14 period. And these are signals and signs that show that the dollar is doing very strong. Looking at other commodities like gold, let's look at the gold instead. The gold has been doing quite well alongside with the dollar. As to compare to other investment platforms like the digital gold known as Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. And gold, instead, unlike the euro having been oversold, experiencing a major sell out, here gold, you can see that there was lack of volatility here in the beginning, but all of a sudden, when the attack happened, this is a 1 hour chart. When the attack happened, most traders worldwide have hedged their tradings or their investment in the commodity sector, especially for gold as well as oil, which is the one that I'm also going to be sharing with you right now. So as you can see, the gold has gone to oversold conditions right here and going 77 and above. So remember, 70 and above is overbought. Okay, we're talking about overbought, not oversold, overbought. So gold has been bought in such a rapid manner in the last few hours, but now it has taken a knock. But you do understand, as a trader, it is just taking a knock, just taking that breather. And gold is almost going to $2,000 per ounce. According to the statistics, according to the chart, according to the data, it went as far as 1,974 per ounce, per golden ounce. So there is a possibility that gold can go as far as $2,000 per ounce. Okay, now looking at other markets in the crypto space as well, I just want to, before I go into it, I just want to look at the coinmarketcap.com, the entirety of the entire cryptocurrency market. Look at that, it's just red. Okay, as we know. Then I just want to look at the coin market cap overall on the 24 hours. When I looked it on earlier on, I think it was an hour ago, I could see that it was 1.5, but now I can see now it has risen just a little bit. It was 1.6. Yesterday it was 1.7. So still the BTC still holds the highest percentage of dominance in the crypto space, and of course followed by the Ethereum at 18.2%. And then the coin market cap itself being affected in this sense also shows that the weakening market in the crypto space as well. But there are biggest gainers as well. As you can see in the small board, you have Shiba, Toby. I'm going to just show the top three that is quite relevant for now. And another thing that surprised me, although the cryptocurrency space itself is not doing so well, on the contrary, then you have crypto exchanges. Crypto exchanges, they look to be green and healthy all of a sudden. And you have Binance, which is the most used crypto exchange in the world by market volume. And then you have Coinbase exchange following right now. It's all green. You know, as you can see, the exchanges on the other side are doing very well. As you can see, the KuCoin, most of them, if not the top 10 of these exchanges, most of them are just taking a good percentage, and they are railing or they are surging. When we talk about, they are on a bullish raid when you talk about exchanges. So the people who are benefiting from this are people who are in a few group like exchanges. There are a few group, but the investors of cryptocurrencies on the other hand, they are taking a knock, and it looks like things are different for people who are working in the exchanges. Merely these are talking about programmers and people like CEOs of exchanges. They are seeing a rise in cryptocurrencies, but the native coin of Binance itself, BNB, is also taking a knock. At this point in time, I can just show you the chart because it's also correlated. Remember now, the cryptocurrencies have always been in correlation with one another. If Bitcoin falls, it's likely most of the cryptocurrencies are falling. But here it's not only caused by Bitcoin or technical means, but this is caused by the situation that is happening in Russia. So let's just analyze the BNB, which is the native coin for the exchanges of Binance Smart Chain. Just waiting for the data to reveal itself. Sometimes this chart can be a bit slow, but it's all right. It just show me in the information that I just want to share with. It's just similar. It's just the same as Bitcoin, but could it be an alternative if someone is not, sure about Bitcoin? But it cannot be an alternative because they are both moving in the same direction. Here it is right there, also getting its knock right there with the bearish candlestick. This is a 1 hour chart, Binance chart, and also getting, this is the late hours. This is what it looks like. And this trend just keeps on going down. It can go up just a little bit like this candlestick here. It has that thing of just having that bullish trend, then it goes up very strong. Then it goes up a little bit, then just goes down just way a little bit. Now, the way analysis regarding the state and the situation of cryptocurrencies, I don't know how true it is, but I just wanted to share this story with all of you there who are watching this in an intense manner. Last Bitcoin support levels above $20,000, okay, 20K come into play as BTC price faces time of uncertainty. One analyst braces for a potential dive below 30,000. So some analysts believe that the Bitcoin can go even lower than 30,000. But this is one point of one analyst. It doesn't have to be a general view for everyone. Okay, so anyone can come with a view and say, okay, no, I don't think, maybe it will bounce off from $30,000 per coin and then spike back up to its normal ranges of $40,000, hopefully going higher, as historical support level remain far from the current BTC spot. Okay, it goes on to say, you can see like the article itself shows like the Bitcoin is having a storm and a wave because of what's happening around the world. But you know, the people who are affected are people who are investing in it. So major sell-offs, traders are just selling off. Bitcoin may yet enter the $20,000 zone, but the coming weeks could provide a solid buying opportunity, a new report forecast. So yeah, you know, yeah, okay, they do have a point in terms of it could present a new buying opportunities for new investors in the cryptocurrency space. So it's much more cheaper to buy Bitcoin and so on and so forth. But either way, let us, in its latest market update on Feb 24, trading platform Decentraland laid out the final areas of support between the current Bitcoin spot price and $20,000. Analysts eyes BTC 20-week and 200-week MA moving average. MA means is an indicator used to predict prices. Here I am using RSI. Some can use the moving average, which is called the MA, so it has its own period. So every trader and every analyst has their own technical way of analyzing the market as a whole. They can use various indicators, as I'm using an indicator as the RSI. I'm just looking for the buying power and the selling power. Here they're just looking for crossovers of the two moving averages, one which is a 20-week moving average, the other which is a 200-week moving average. At the time of that crossover will show whether the market will be going up or down. But I will not go into it in detail, maybe in some time when we are looking into a fundamental and technical analysis platforms. Okay, military action by Russia in Ukraine has markets in a spin Thursday, with stocks and crypto following a firm downtrend as uncertainty grips Asia, Europe, and United States. So we are looking at everyone, and everyone is looking at the situation that is happening in Russia, of course, but it's not such a if I should say it's not such a positive view from all angles. Okay, now these analysts, they are talking about 20,000 $20,000 per coin as their support levels in the next few weeks times. But that remains to be seen. It depends on how things are unfolding in the investment world. So there is no absolute certainty. Anyone, any analyst can say anything at this point in time, can talk their own numbers. I can come in and say, okay, I see $30,000 as my support. Some can say 25,000, even someone can say even lower than $20,000 per coin can be their support. Anyone can predict anything at this point in time, but we'll look at the market together and try to strategize going back to it. But before that, let us just jump into our local markets here. On MoneyWeb came out because the rand itself, our local currency, sharply drops as Russia attacks Ukraine. Also, the rand is affected by the Russian invasion in Ukraine. The South African rand opened sharply weaker on Thursday as investors dumped riskier assets after Russian forces attacked the Ukraine also. And then they also have these charts. Okay, this chart represents the rand versus the US dollar. Okay, the US dollar being now the base currency, the US dollar is the representation of this chart. As you can see, this chart represents the US dollar against the rand. So the US dollar is having some strength. As you can see, it has that bullish trend against it, not only just against the euro, but also against the rand, and also probably the Great British Pound all over the world. So what has pumped up the US dollar? It is possible that, Joe Biden can let this situation slide because he can see that the situation favors the dollar. I don't know, but I don't think that Biden could be a man of war like that. But let me not make any accusation, but anything can be possible. But also looking at the oil in terms of commodities now are taking a positive turn in terms of this situation. Oil sours to $105 as Russia attacks targets across Ukraine. The rand fell, but the oil comes up. These are the news come up. Okay, now oil surged above 105 barrel for the first time since 2014. Wow. Okay, as Russia attacked sites across Ukraine, triggering fears of disruption to energy exports at a time of already tight supplies. Brent jumped more than 9% after President Vladimir Putin ordered Russian troops into Ukraine. Kiev called it a full-scale invasion and announced martial law, while US President Joe Biden said he would impose severe sanctions. These are some of the things that are going to be fought against. Russia is not going to be attacked, but it's going to be attacked in a manner of a monetary way by imposing sanctions. But I don't know how much good would it do. Will it change his mind? I don't think so. Most of the natural gas is held in Russia. Natural gas in Europe rose as much as 41%, while metals, including gold, aluminium, copper, nickel, and food prices also spiked, piling an inflationary pressures. Russia is key seller of commodities to global customers, with Europe relying on the nation for about a quarter of its oil and a third of its gas. Wow. Russia being talking about superpower, Russia has some incredible power. When I read this article, it just shows how much power this Russian nation could have over Europe as a whole. Just want to continue looking at the market as well, and just trying to study and trying to understand other markets, how they are doing in terms of this situation. Okay, we looked at the gold. Gold seemed to be doing well, but just bounced off a little bit. Just want to show you the data until it's revealed, and you can see the relative strength index, and then it starts to take off. Gold could reach $2,000 per ounce, probably in this week or next week or next week in the middle of the week, or in the middle of the week next week. Let's look at just want to look at Apple stocks as well. Not only just one form of stocks. You see all these stocks oversold. All of them, they have that oversold, that sell out situation. This is not a good thing to look at. When you see charts like this, you must know that it is a bad situation. If you are an investor, I suggest you should hold on to your investment. Okay, continuing to other news as well that has come out in terms of cryptocurrencies. We had the digital space of cryptocurrency news came out. Okay, these are just some of the light news, not much of what we're talking about at this rate. Digital gold narrative valid as long as a MicroStrategy holds Bitcoin, says exec. Institutional investors who bought BTC via on-chain transactions seem to have not sold their holdings yet, according to CryptoQuant's CEO. And it goes on to say, okay, as some industry executives have questions Bitcoin as being the digital gold amid a massive market crash. On Thursday, other experts continue to support the digital gold, which is the Bitcoin narrative for now, until whale investors like MicroStrategy cash out. Yang Yoon, CEO of South Korean on-chain analytics resource CryptoQuant, took to Twitter on Thursday to report that his platform has not observed any significant on-chain activity. So there is still activities, CryptoQuants, that are still faithful to the cryptocurrencies as investors on the other side of the world, irrespective of the cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin taking a knock on this Thursday. On this Thursday day. So moving on to other news, going to Africa. Okay, now I know, these are just some other news, but, I just wanted to share them with you. So, going to Africa, talking about African people going into gaming, investing into gaming. So it's a good thing to see Africans are going or investing into gaming. This is like an introduction to the tech and that IT level of information, because gaming is an important element in the mind. Why? Because games teach you how to think. Games teach you how to solve problems. Instantly, games teach you how to think, just in general, to be able to figure out things, to go through missions, and to go through certain activities, and if I might put it, to go through obstacles that are laid before you during that gaming, and you overcoming them. It gives you a sense of confidence within yourself, and also you're gonna start being a thinker yourself. And being a thinker is a good thing when it comes to anywhere else in the world, whether you be working or whether you be in a social network, or whether you be maybe playing sports itself. So gaming is an important and a vital aspect in the human mind in this day and age, especially when it comes to the understanding of electronics. Africa taking over the world's video game market. Okay, this is just another picture that was taken. Okay, most of them, they are playing FIFA, which is quite typical for me. I would like to see them, going through other platforms of gaming other than just FIFA, because they're always playing the same thing, FIFA, all the time. But anyway, that's just them. Okay, gone are the days when internet cafes were a hotspot for African gamers. During this time, consoles were the main element for playing these games, which were usually foreign creations and young male adults dominating the patronage. I hope, most investors, as we're going into the digital age, one of the most invested element that should be invested on is gaming in Africa. I think that is one of the ways to teach young generations to get involved in the tech and technological and mathematical world, if I may put it. Gaming, and it's exciting and it makes them happy, you know. I think gaming should be a grand investment, one of the grand investment that should be done here in this continent as well. While we're speaking about the continental breakthrough in Africa, Luno, on the other side, South Africa's biggest crypto exchange, is now taking on the world. As the news came out, biggest crypto exchange in Africa sets sights on US expansion. US expansion. Okay, there's an article there. I know that you couldn't see that because of my thing right there. Okay, digital currency group owned Luno. Studying state regulations, Luno may add new coins to serve its 9 million worldwide users. Not bad, they have like 9 million worldwide. Africa's largest cryptocurrency exchange is looking for a foothold in the US, the latest international platform to try and tap one of the world's biggest populations of the digital asset investors. Owned by conglomerate Digital Currency Group Inc., Luno is assessing regulatory regimes in all 50 states to allow for its rollout in the course of the year. Marius Ritz, its general manager for Africa, said in an interview. So Luno, as I understand, the main offices in South Africa, it's situated in Cape Town, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if they have offices in Joburg as well. Another breakthrough that has been made in terms of local people who are making breakthroughs in the cryptocurrency space. You have others that, you know, have made it like the interviews that we have last week, and who have invested in real estate. Some have invested in building companies and making things easier for people to make access to the cryptocurrency space. One of those people is a gentleman known as Lorien Kamarov. This man here is also CEO of CentB. About Lorien Kamarov, okay, CEO of Banki-Moon, a blockchain and crypto and a cryptocurrency consultancy, and co-founder, CEO of CentB. CentB will go into details into it when I go into details when I talk about Crypto Africa, cryptocurrency payments and remittance company. He also serves as a Bitcoin Association ambassador, as one of the world's foremost blockchain experts. Lorien has been invited international to speak on the digital cryptocurrencies and decentralized distributed ledgers and their benefits for emerging economies. He has addressed and advised the United Nations, IMF, and World Bank, FBI, and Commonwealth Secretariat, the South African Reserve Bank, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, TEDx, and a host of professionals in multiple industries and attorneys general throughout the world. He offers insight and guidance to the universities and business executives, and advises governments and a blockchain technology and their implication. If you are someone who is a crypto investor long time, I think this guy, you should look out for him, especially his company called CentB. Just see what benefits that may bring to you as a person of interest in the cryptocurrency space. Okay, I see there is a comment here. I just want to see it, what's going on. Okay, let me just talk to this man right here. All right, Swazi Dube, man, thanks for that. I believe we might see 26,000K in Bitcoin. My opinion. Of course, it is your opinion, brother. Anyone can have an opinion in this time. No one is quite certain. No one is a predictor or has prophetic powers to predict what can happen on the Bitcoin space or the cryptocurrency space. I'd like to thank you very much for that comment, Mr. Sizwe, for coming through in Empire Crypto TV. And of course, please do send your comment on Empire Crypto TV. Do ask questions, do comment about the show and about our topics that we might have on a daily basis. On my final word, and I wanted to analyze the charts with you. Let us just try and analyze. Some analyzed what 20,000 and below, and this man Caesar just said 26,000. Let us just do our own analysis here at Empire Crypto TV, here live. I haven't done any analysis, so I want to do it all together, and let's see if it happens. We'll see. If it doesn't happen, okay, well, let me just go through the chart. Let's just go through the chart together. I'm looking at the 1 hour chart right now. My support has been broken out, as you can see, bearish breakout. Now my resistance now sits at $39,000. Still, I won't remove that resistance until I see the Bitcoin goes over $39,000. I can be assured that the very bullish trend is going to begin. Now let us set off. Now there is war that is happening. How long does this war and its rumor continue? Can it be as worse? But if things get worse, it is likely that the Bitcoin can go even lower than $30,000 per coin. That is a possibility. Okay, that is a great, great possibility. Okay, I just wanted to show you the chart. Let me just go. That is a great, great possibility. Okay. The Bitcoin can even go as far as $32,000 per coin if this war issue continues. It's not likely that we might be seeing a bullish trend. Now, even recently, the relative strength index oversold to a point of 19.12. Let us do a prediction now. What can we see? Tomorrow is Friday. If this war thing continues, then we're going to be likely to see this bearish trend. We can be likely to see this coin go as far as $33,000 per coin. So for now, today is Thursday. Let us just put my resistance or my support level at, let me see, is that $33,000 per coin or 34? This is my support level at $33,000 per coin. Though it has not yet hit there, but I'll just put it as my support level. So until then, let us see each other on the Empire Crypto TV, same time, same place, trying to figure out the market at its bearish time. These are bearish times. These are very bad times. No one doesn't like to see, no one wants to see this. As you could see, it's not something that we can control. It is the major global leaders that are controlling everything. Vladimir Putin wants to attack. He's not part of NATO. So therefore, him being not part of NATO, he's protecting Ukraine from being part of NATO, because if Ukraine becomes NATO, it's a threat to Russia. I don't know. I don't understand that whole geopolitical thing. But whatever it is, he is not comfortable with NATO coming to Ukraine. Hence, that's why he's attacking the Ukraine. Shall we see more bombs? Let us hope and pray that, let us just hope and pray for peace, actually, so that we can see the markets stabilizing once again. Thank you, and thank you very much for watching this broadcast. This is Empire Crypto TV, and you are with Stone. And good night, good morning, good day, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much.